2016, I discovered that my life was totally out of my control. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. My faith was truly tested like never before. Growing up in Savannah, I was surrounded by a rich culture of music. My dad was a rock and roll musician, and my grandfather was a bishop in the Episcopal Church. While I grew up going to church, it wasn't until I was 15 that I understood what it meant to fully make Jesus the Lord and Savior of my life. My dream growing up was to be a professional basketball player. When I realized it wouldn't materialize into a career, I started playing guitar. My dream became sharing the truth and love through music. The year after I graduated college, Katie came into my life. This was a woman of unwavering faith.
Paul definitely is incredibly friendly, and people always want to be around him. He's still the nicest person I know, and I live with him, so that says a lot.
Later on, I had the opportunity to serve as the music pastor at a church in Athens, and it was awesome. It was there I realized my passion to shepherd musicians, and I fully embraced being a music pastor. By 2015, our family had grown, and Katie was offered a great job in Atlanta. This also offered greater opportunities to produce albums for local Christian bands. That allowed me to serve musicians not just from a stage, but working with them face-to-face in the studio each day. Taking the leap to Atlanta, God gave me a place to land here at Apostles. My former pastor had served here years ago. There really wasn't a position available when I came, but I started serving as an assistant stagehand on Sundays. Whenever different groups needed someone to fill in or lead music, I gladly helped out there. In September of that year, I was sanding the floors in my studio, and it took me 3 days to finish. I couldn't even feel my hands. A month later, my hands were still numb. I was forced to go to the doctor to figure this out. While I was there, the doctor asked me if I had any other concerns. I figured I'd get my co-pays worth, so I told her that I had been experiencing stomach issues. While both hands needed surgery for carpal tunnel, the real issue was somewhere else, so I was sent to a gastroenterologist. I was given the last remaining colonoscopy appointment, which was, of course, on Christmas Eve. On Christmas morning, God revealed to me that if He had not crippled me, I would have continued to ignore my other symptoms. He was saying, I loved you enough to get your attention, not so you would die, but so that you could be healed. At that point, I still hadn't received a diagnosis, but God was preparing me. 3 days later, I found out I had stage 3 colon cancer. It felt like time froze. The thing about cancer is you just can't power through it. One thing's clear, you are not in control. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't afraid, but there was this unexplainable peace that was protecting me. God was in control, and the promise He gave me on Christmas morning consumed the rising fear. I had 27 radiation treatments, surgery in April, and was then left with a colostomy bag and 4 months of chemotherapy. God showed me that He doesn't see suffering the same way we do. Romans 8:28 came alive like never before, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. My faith was forced to rise to the occasion. Through cancer, God stripped me of my half-hearted beliefs and replaced them with something much deeper. He gave me a peace in the face of death, and I was free to fully live. I was finally okay with just being a child of God. I didn't have to be anything, the best music producer, artist, songwriter. I was okay just being His. It sounds crazy, but in the midst of all these challenges, God blessed me with the opportunity to lead music here at Apostles. There were Sundays when I had to close my eyes and focus solely on Christ to get me through the pain, but I know the prayers of this congregation have carried me.
I had faith in our God, and I knew that He would see Paul through it. God definitely uses difficult circumstances to reveal His glory. His relationship with Christ grew deeper, and then he was able to also exemplify that to other people.
By the grace of God, not only has the cancer been removed, but now there are no more signs of it in my body. God has used these trials to show me that He is faithful. I am thankful. To Him and Him alone be all the glory and honor.